Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Recently, you and I ranked the outside, I ranked the outside of the arenas. I didn't choose the best pictures and people had some hate to throw my way. Understandable, I know some of the pictures weren't great. Now we're here to rank the inside of the arenas, and you've ranked them 31 to 1, your least favorite to favorite. Right. You're going to tell me your rankings. We're going to go through them one arena at a time, and you're going to explain why you liked it or why you disliked it.
Okay.
I'm excited to know how you feel, because it's hard to rank the inside of an arena.
It's incredibly hard. Every ice surface is going to be within a few inches of the same size.
Exactly.
Every rink has to fit between 16 and 21,000 people in it, and there's only so many ways you can angle the seats to do that. So on the inside, architecturally, almost all the rinks are going to look almost identical.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's not going to be a lot of distinction between them. So the rankings, there's 3 or 4 that I really don't like, and there's 3 or 4 that I really like, and everything else in between is just a toss-up. Neil made me put numbers on them, so I did, but I don't have a great defense for some, in the 15 to 20 range. I don't have a lot of defense.
That's okay. I hope you can take the heat, because some of these
I take the heat.
Some of these people are going to be angry if you rate their arenas low. They get really butthurt.
I'm a grown man, and I've taken a lot of heat in my day.
Yeah. So. All right, so some of these pictures, I tried to do the best I could to find the best pictures I could, but some of them just aren't really that great.
Yeah.
But I did a better job in the inside than I did the outside. I'll say that. All right, starting off with number 31.
Number 31 has to be the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It's not a hockey arena. It wasn't built to be a hockey arena. Yeah. It was built for basketball. They've done, I guess, as good a job as they could do to turn it into some sort of hockey venue. It's not getting good results from the fans.
Nope.
The attendance is lower there than it was at the old Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Yeah. And just take one look. I mean, the score clock usually hangs over center ice. They don't, because center ice here is actually offset. The score clock probably hangs over the center of what would have been the basketball court.
Exactly, yeah.
But when they put a hockey dimension in there, it just doesn't work. Then if you look at the far left-hand side, around behind the goal and around behind the boards, there's this gigantic empty space that is probably part of the original initial architecture to do whatever it was designed to do previous to hockey. And it just doesn't work. I don't think it works for the fans. There are many seats that don't have good sight lines.
Yeah.
There are many seats that are just at a weird angle from the play. And I just think it doesn't work, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to decide that. But on the 1 to 31 scale, this is number 31.
Totally agree. I'm glad you put this 31, actually. Yeah.
Right on.
All right, 30, what you got? Ooh, Madison Square Garden. Really? Yeah. This surprises me.
I love New York City. I love Madison Square Garden. I love the history of all of it. But as a hockey venue, and that's really what we're trying to do here, is we're discussing all things hockey. So as a hockey venue, I don't like watching televised games in Madison Square Garden. It has an oddball lighting.
Yeah, the lighting sucks.
Which is really my biggest problem with MSG, is the lighting. It's got all kinds of history, and I'd love to see a game in person there.
Yeah.
Because of the history, and maybe the fan experience is different than the TV experience. All I have to go on is the fact I've watched dozens, scores, maybe hundreds of games over my lifetime from Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it was built in 68, I think.
68, yeah. The most recent version. Madison Square is a different location in New York City, and there's been different Madison Square Gardens over the years. This one, like you say, is about 40 years old.
The oldest rink in the league.
Old. Yeah, the oldest rink that's currently in use in the league. Yeah, and I love everything else about it except the way it is laid out for hockey as a TV viewer at home. Yeah. The shadows are tremendous, tremendous in a bad way.
Yeah.
They're unavoidable, and they're very distracting.
They're very obvious.
Yeah. One thing I will say I like about it, though, because this will come up again, is it has a very small, what appears to be a small center jumbotron screen. Okay. I'm not a fan of the jumbotron screen during the play of the game. The smaller it is, the harder it is to see, the better I like it.
Okay. All right. Understandable.
Okay.
Is this the XL Energy?
The XL Energy Center.
In Minnesota?
Yeah. I don't have a huge reason to dislike this, to place it so low, but it looks to me as if the fans that are sitting way up high might have a hard time seeing the arena surface, or the rink surface, past that score clock. And I found this at the ACC when I was at one of my games there several years ago. We'll come to that when we get there, but it looks like it's almost too flat in the lower bowl. I think if I were a fan in the lower bowl, I might have trouble seeing the play for people sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
As all hockey arenas do, they get steeper as you go higher. I think I'd rather be in a higher seat to watch a game here than in the lower bowl, because I think I'd get a better view of the arena or the ice playing surface. Nothing about this gets me. You know? So it's so ordinary, so it's just ranked low. I do nothing really about it I dislike, but nothing about it I like either.
All right.
San Jose.
All right, the SAP Center, or the SAP Center. You need to say SAP, because if you say SAP, people get super angry.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't dislike it. Again, it's we're in the mid-range here. We're starting to get in the mid-range of the arenas. This one, I know it's the best picture you could find, but it's still not a picture of the whole thing.
There wasn't a lot of great pictures of the inside, unfortunately.
Yeah. There's a funny-looking object in the upper left-hand side hanging from the rafters. I don't know what that is. But, it looks like a regular hockey arena. It looks like it's got a more constant angle of seating, which I think is not a bad thing. Certainly, the lower bowl doesn't look nearly as flat or widespread as the previous arena did. Yeah. So, I think
it looks smaller than most.
It does. It looks like you can't, I think when I was looking at this, there's no way you can get, more than 15 or 16,000 people in there, but you can.
17,400, I think, is the capacity.
It's a bit of an optical illusion. I don't know what's going on behind the camera, but it looks all right. Yeah. But there's nothing about it that makes me go,
We're probably starting to get into the rinks that you just don't.
Yeah, this will be tough. Yeah. This will be tough for me.
All right, the Prudential Center in New Jersey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of screens on that clock.
There's a lot of screens on that clock. They could show probably Netflix and some Amazon Prime and other things in the top row, and maybe have some other things in the bottom row. Yeah. It's a fairly new facility, so I'm sure it has all the amenities, and I like the view of the ice surface from this seat. And this seat is a pretty high seat. Yeah. You're looking down, from the second or third bowl here, probably third.
Yeah, bottom of the third, I'd say, yeah.
And you can see very well.
Yeah.
So this isn't too far off the angle we had in Toronto at the ACC. And, that was a good view as well.
It was. It was high, but it was pretty good.
So I like that. I mean, I think that's pretty good. I like it. I'm not crazy about it one way or the other, but I don't dislike it really.
All right. Number 26, Honda Center.
Yeah. It has, again, looks like a less steep, or a less flat, rather, lower bowl, a little more steepedness to it. I like the fact that it has multiple levels. I'm going to say the things I like from this point on. Okay. There's really nothing I don't like about it.
It's so hard to rank these.
Yeah, it's very
That's why
hard.
I made you do it, not me.
Yeah, and we know what the viewers want, so we're going to do a ranking, but we're not going to pretend that we're, experts at ranking.
Exactly.
It's all subjective. So, point me and I'll do it, but, I have very little defense for my numbers.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
All right, moving on. 25.
The Gila River Arena. This looks like a flatter lower bowl, which is my less favorite, as you would know now. Another double level score clock.
Lots of screens.
Yeah. It looks like, though, most of the structure of the arena is up higher. Like there's not going to be a lot of blocked views from higher level seating, at least by the rest of the structure of the arena. Perhaps the score clock will be in frame for someone who's way up high, but it looks like they wouldn't be.
Interesting things in the corners there.
Yeah, it looks like just it's more of maybe a sponsorship thing where they can put some signs there, but it's obviously box seating, or special high-end VIP type seating there.
Lighting looks okay.
Yeah, lighting looks really good. In fact, and that's a lot of that structure up above is not anything other than to hold lights.
Yeah.
And
there's no banners to block the lighting.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Sorry.
Sorry, Phoenix. Sorry, Arizona.
So Ottawa Center's Canadian Tire Center.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of games here. It's a good game to watch, or it's a good place to watch a hockey game in. I've been up in a bowl in one situation, and then last season I was watching a game. It was down, I think I was third or fourth seat back from the glass.
I remember watching that game of you watching the game.
You can see see the back of my bald head. We're just close to the penalty box on the blue line, and we got a really good view. So that seat was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how great the seats were behind. Looks like there's enough steep in the lower bowl that probably seats do have a fairly good vantage point. on the rest of the play, the hockey play. The other time I was there, I was sitting up higher and saw the game very well. It was a Washington Capitals game, and all I did was watch Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I watched Ovechkin skate hard when he had the puck, and I watched him just looking all around and dipsy-doodling when he didn't. But he was fun to watch.
Justin will like that comment.
Oh, yeah.
BB&T Center in Florida.
Yeah.
This was a picture from a couple years ago, obviously, because they have the old logo there in the center. But it's the best picture I could find.
Yeah. Looks like obviously a fairly ordinary hockey arena. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Florida first started up as a franchise, they were into were they in this facility? Or were they in a different facility? Because I remember there being problems early on, climate-wise, trying to keep the air, the air quality, and there was fog in there. This is Florida.
Yeah.
Now, this may be either a renovated situation or even a brand new building. I don't know. I think it's new.
Probably is.
Because when you did the outside one, someone commented that this was out in the middle of nowhere now, and there was. So I think it's new. So I think it's probably going to be more suited to hockey. Yeah. It looks fine to me. It looks like they have several levels, and if you like big score clocks, you're going to like this one.
Yeah, you're set. 22, Bridgestone Arena, Nashville.
I probably should have ranked this higher. When I got to it, I'd used up some higher numbers.
Yeah.
Or ranked it better, higher being a lower number. But
score clock with a lot of screens. Again,
you
had the presidential debate on there. You could have different games. So
games
many
from
screens.
Other markets.
Yeah.
It's obviously a great place to watch hockey. I mean, watching so many games from there over the playoff run in 2016, 2017, it's been amazing. I'd love to go there and watch a game. There's nothing about the arena that I don't like. It looks like every seat has a good view.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, how steep it is kind of up here.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Now, steep is great, but, you and I have been steep, along with your mother. We've been steep in the Forum and steep in the Bell Center.
Yeah, scary.
And once you get up there, when you're going to your seat, it's not bad, because you're just looking at seats, and you're going up, and then you turn around, and it's like, whoa. But it looks, I like it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
21.
Vancouver.
Rogers Arena.
Yeah, Rogers Arena in Vancouver. It's not ranked low on purpose. It's not really even ranked low. It's in the mid-range. It's okay. It's all right. There's, nothing about it that stands out as anything that's annoying to me.
Not the best picture. It was, kind of dark, but
yeah,
it was hard to find. I'm searching Rogers Arena, and all that came up was Rogers Place in Edmonton. So to find a good picture of the Rogers Arena inside that wasn't this big,
yeah. No, I think it'd be a good place to watch a hockey game.
I think it would be too. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Number 20, United Center.
United Center, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
It looks very flat.
Very flat.
It could be the camera of lens or distortion.
Perspective.
Yeah, but if this is what it's really like, it's quite flat. And I don't really like flat because I think you're too far physically away from the ice.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's too many possible obstructions in front of you. If a guy with a great giant head sits in front of you, you may not see much of the game.
Yeah.
So that's a potential problem, but obviously Chicago fills their stadium every game, so there's lots of happy campers in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 19, the Washington Capitals Verizon Center.
Yeah, similar. It looks kind of flat in the bottom. Obviously, they'll go a little bit steeper at the top. I don't dislike this at all. And the televised games I saw from there over the playoffs looked like they had good lighting and all that.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting how the lower bowl at the ends go up further than in the middle. There's kind of a middle section.
Yeah,
middle
like
bowl.
in the side, they've almost had an extra balcony that's been stuck out a bit. And
that's not good or bad, just an observation.
It's an observation. Makes it different from the others.
Yes. Philadelphia, it's the Wells Fargo Arena, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like a really nice venue.
It does. Yeah. I really like this one.
Yeah, it's the score clock isn't overwhelming. It's one of those, perhaps a two-tiered, or maybe that's just a.
No, I think
I think it is two-tiered.
One with a lot of screens again.
Yeah, lots of what appears to be maybe the high-end or VIP seating, the very, very top, unless that's a media thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that'd be all right if you were. For me, going to a game as a fan, it's not so much about where I sit. It's about the environment around me. If I'm in a place that I have room, that I can move about, maybe there's service, like in Ottawa. The bowl part we were sitting in Ottawa, they had service. And people would come, would you like something? Would you like some popcorn? Would you like a beer? And you
Yeah.
could have all that stuff and not get up. Unfortunately, they don't bring you a pee bucket, but they brought you everything else, and it was nice. So a lot of the hockey experience isn't so much how close I am; it's what kind of amenities I have when I'm at the game. Yeah, so I like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a game here.
Yep.
Hopefully someday.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, this must be the PNC Arena, I believe.
I think so. It used to be the RBC, and now it's the They've got some banners, although only one Stanley Cup banner.
They do, yes, some banners.
That's more than Montreal has in the last 25 years.
Yes, it is.
I dare the gods when I say this, but one of the reasons I rank this higher than I maybe otherwise would have is because this arena at least used to feature cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders.
And I think that makes any arena a better place.
I think there's some California teams that use cheerleaders as well.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah. Oh, good. I can't stay up late enough to know. But no, I like the facility.
Yep.
This is a place where hockey probably would be an unnatural fit if you just asked someone out of the blue, unless there was already a team there. But it's taken on very well.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have very loyal fans in Carolina.
And as they should, And they've got some exciting talent on the ice when they do get in there. So.
Future's bright for Carolina.
Very bright.
16, Buffalo is now officially called the KeyBank Center.
KeyBank Center, yes. I've been in a game here, or not in a game. I was never that good.
No.
But I've watched a game here, Buffalo, Ottawa, actually, and it was a good game. I was up at one end a little bit. I had a very good view of the ice.
Yep.
My sense of it at the time is that it was fairly flat, but I still saw the ice surface well.
Okay.
And I could, we were, maybe 25 rows back from the ice or something. But I enjoyed it in there. I've watched games on television from Buffalo.
Yep.
And the lighting is good, and the fan experience, from my personal experience, the time I was there, was very good as well. So I don't dislike it.
Going back to your comment of you saying you were in the game, someone made the comment the other day that you look like Don Cherry's long-lost cousin. I don't know if that's a compliment or a burn, but...
Well, considering he's 80...
86, 87, something like 80.
Yeah, I'll take that as the burn part.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Don Cherry. I don't have a hate on for Don Cherry.
Yeah.
I don't watch him all the time, but I don't dislike him like some people do. But
15. So you've ranked this in the middle, kind of like I did, I assume for the same reason.
Exactly.
We don't really know what it's going to look like. This is the digitization of what the Little Caesars Arena is going to look like on the inside. Mm-hmm. Looks like pretty big screens on the Jumbotron, which I like, you probably don't.
Right.
But
maybe we'll talk before we're done about why I don't. But
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a great place to watch a hockey game.
Looks okay. I mean,
yep.
Looks like an arena. Yeah.
Yep, sure does.
Oh yes, must be the MTS. I see lots of white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MTS Center in Winnipeg. I really think that this building would have tremendous energy in it, just from the people, regardless of what everything else looked like. But it looks like a great place to watch a game. The score clock looks nice and high, high enough that it won't be impeding anyone's view. Obviously, they have special effects that are rolling in there, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And now, I think this is partially camera angled because it looks steeper on the ends and maybe on the far side than it appears to be on the near side. So that's probably just an optical effect.
Yeah, some fisheye going on.
Yeah. But it looks like everybody has a good view of the ice.
Yep.
So I like it.
Number 13, the Pepsi Center. Look at that giant screen. I love it.
I know you do.
That is amazing.
And I know I'm stuck with screens. So if I'm going to be stuck with the screen, it may as well be a good one.
I guess.
So
yeah.
I guess I'll be okay with this.
Yeah, the Pepsi Center.
Yeah, the Pepsi Center. Looks like it's hanging a little low from this angle, but if you look carefully at where the camera probably is for this shot, this camera is near the top.
Very high, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're near the top and you can still see the entire ice surface and both players' benches and even halfway up the lower bowl, that's good.
That's kind of the guideline. If you can see, if you're up as high as you can get on the opposite side as the benches and still see the benches under the clock, then you're good.
Then you're good.
Yeah. There's some arenas, we'll talk about that in a little bit, that you can't.
We're getting close to there.
Number 12.
Bell Center.
Why is this so low? I thought you were going to go maybe top 3 with this.
Well, there actually are a top 3 that I like better. And that's the only reason. If it was just me and my bias, it'd be number 1 because this isn't just a hockey arena; it's church.
It's church. This is
for people like
a religion.
People like us, yeah, it's church. I love going to hockey games here. I've been to many. I love the environment. You don't like the external part of it at all. You ranked it the lowest, if I recall, and we'll deal with that later. But I like that the Bell Center has not only honored you know, the litany of players that have played to distinction to get their jerseys retired. But if you look at the left-hand side, just underneath the first two Canadians Cup banners, you'll see the Montreal Expos banner.
Yes.
You know, and they adopted the mascot when the Expos left town, UP. They're honoring the Expos here. Montreal's always been really good about cross-promoting its sports teams.
Right.
When the Alouettes win the Grey Cup, they're paraded out onto the ice in November usually at the next available hockey game. You know, they honor Expos legends, Tim Raines, Andre Dawson, people like that. When they're in town to celebrate things, they'll be brought out onto the ice and the fans will go crazy.
Yeah.
So Montreal is just a lover of all of its sports teams. And it's nice to see them all integrated here together. So the people who run this facility obviously get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a great place to watch a hockey game from any angle I've ever been at. So I really like it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Number 11, the Nationwide Arena.
Oh, Columbus.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the best picture. Apologize for that.
Not the best picture, but and here's the only, you know, it doesn't look like any really big difference from this compared to any other team, but this arena has a cannon in it.
Any arena with a cannon
Any arena
has to be in the top 15.
It's got to be.
If there's room for a cannon, there's room for it to be in the top 15.
Precisely. I mean, that's a unique thing. It's smart marketing.
Yeah.
Except that game this past year when I heard that cannon go 10 times when Montreal was playing. So I don't really like hearing the cannon all that much, but I like the idea that it's there. And if I was a Columbus fan, I would love that. So they made room for a cannon, and they use it.
I just noticed something else about this rink that I have not seen in any of the other pictures.
Okay.
On the far end here, they have a banner of every single NHL team, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Advertising other teams in your arena.
There's one other picture I think coming up that has that too, and I like it as well.
Yeah.
Because you're
like
showing
that,
you're showing honor to the opponents that come into your rink, and they can
Absolutely.
look up and see something familiar. So, yeah.
Kudos to them.
Yep.
Justin's
Kudos.
word.
Yeah.
Number 10, the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Very unique building from the outside.
Yeah, I guess I find interesting the use of the wall structure.
Yeah,
you see the
flat
seats
at the back.
It's flat at the back and
the
seat,
side.
Yeah, and I think that would make for maybe disturbing acoustics, you know, so loud or whatever. But you know, there looks to be a place where the sound would funnel up into spots and probably be very, very loud for the fans.
Yeah, could be.
And maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. But no, it looks like a nice property, and I just find it interesting, the structure.
It's very steep.
It is very steep, and I think
I like that.
Yeah, because all the fans are going to get a good view.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Top 10, number 9, TD Garden.
The Garden. Yeah,
Boston Garden.
Fairly new facility, clearly built for at least including hockey, if not primarily for hockey.
Yeah.
And it looks like a great place to go watch a hockey game, and I have not been there yet, and I want to go.
It sounds silly, but the thing I like most about this arena is that all the seats are yellow.
That is nice.
Or gold.
Yeah.
Sorry, whatever.
Yeah. That is nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good, nice touch. We'll see that in another arena coming up.
We will.
Yeah.
In a more striking way.
Number 8. Okay, so I found this picture. It says Console Energy Center on the clock, but it's now the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So number 8.
It looks a little flat on the near side. Excuse me, a little steeper on the far side, and that's probably just an optical thing.
Yep.
But I think that every seat's going to have good views. I like the fact that it seems to be broken in the middle on the way up, you know, where you've got box seating,
some standing room.
Yep, some standing. You've got VIP seating, and then you've got another tier of seating above that.
Yep.
So I think that, that provides a good mixture of different kinds of probably price points and the seating and all that. So I like it.
Lots of banners up there as well.
Yes,
unfortunately.
they've earned a lot of banners. Yeah.
Los Angeles. So this is the Staples Center.
Yeah.
It's an interesting clock.
It is. It's
round.
It's round.
Yeah,
it should be in Madison Square Garden to fit the round.
It should be, yeah.
But anyway, I like it. And again, looks like there's seating and fan activity above. And at the top of the lower bowl, there appears to be lots of multi-level, multi-use kind of seating or accommodations.
Lots of press boxes there.
Yeah, and it's L.A.
Private boxes,
There's lots of VIPs in L.A.
Lots of celebs. Yeah.
Celebs, yeah. So I like it. Yeah, number 7.
Number 6. Oh, look at that clock. Look how big that screen is.
You love that clock. I picked this almost for you.
That clock is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous, unless you're sitting at one end or the other. if you're sitting at one end or the other, you're already farther away from the clock than everybody else. And now your clock is less than half the size of the people who are sitting around the corner from you. But yeah, it's if you like clocks.
I like it. I love it.
Okay.
This is my favorite one so far.
And this is the Amelie.
Amelie, not Amali.
Not Amali.
Amelie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amali is, I don't know where that is, but
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's
the
nice.
lighting looks really good.
It looks really vivid, bright. Looks like it'd be a great place to see hockey.
Number 5, St. Louis to Scots trade.
Get special effects. You've got the effect of having some banners up there. St. Louis has never won a cup, but they won division championships or conference championships.
Got some player numbers up there.
Retired players.
Yep.
Looks like the fans are having a pretty good time. Although if you look closely at the picture, there's a guy in the far left who's not enjoying the celebration. He's staring at whoever's taking this picture.
He is, yeah.
And then in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little kid who looks to be in fear of something.
Yes.
But anyway, most of the fans seem to be enjoying themselves.
Maybe it's allowed and he shat himself.
Maybe so.
I like the colors at the top, the yellow and the blue all the way around.
Yeah, that is nice, and it ties into the team as probably the primary occupant of the facility, which is nice. We like hockey arenas that are the predominant tenant is the hockey team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all cities have that ability to only house hockey in it, like the Staples Center.
Exactly. Yeah.
Number 4, Air Canada Center. And this is a picture that we took when we were there earlier this year.
Copyright Neil, 2016 or 17, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't hard to find this picture.
No, it wasn't. I liked it a lot. We were up high, but look at the view we had.
We were almost at the top.
Almost at the top.
Great seats.
Literally 2 or 3 rows behind us, and that was it.
Yeah.
And the view was awesome. And we could see all the play very, very well. And in fact, you've got some even video from up there that looks...
I do.
That looks almost pro.
Maybe I'll show some now.
Maybe so.
I like the banners, how they have the picture of the player up there. I think that's a cool effect. Which
That's a very nice
really
touch.
nothing to do with the arena itself, but I don't like the yellow seats at the bottom.
Is that right?
Those should be blue.
What are the Raptors colors?
Purple and white and red, I think, or something.
Okay, we can't blame it on them then.
Who watches basketball?
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I like it a lot, and I like it a lot probably because it's one of the arenas I've been to a couple of times. Now, we were talking earlier about what the fan really, really, really high in certain angles does or does not see. I was at a game here several years ago. It was the season opener against Montreal. The Highlanders came out with the bagpipes and did the national anthem and all that. And I was in standing room right behind the Foster Hewitt press box. And the press box actually hung down, the bottom of the press box, and the catwalk to the press box was right beside where we were standing. And the bottom of the press box was below my eye level, and the bottom of the clock was below that again. I could not see the clock, or the scoreboard, because of the press box.
Oh, okay.
And for me to see the players' benches, because I was opposite the players' benches, I had to duck down and look underneath to see who was actually on the benches. And when you did that, of course, you're almost looking at the person who's sitting in front of you in the last row of seating. So it was, of course, standing room seat. What do I expect?
Yeah.
Could I watch the game? Yes, I could. Did I get in fairly cheap compared to everybody else? Yes, I did.
Yes, you did, yeah. All right, number 3, Scotiabank Saddledome, Calgary.
It's old. It's mid-'80s or 83, 84 when it was built.
Yep.
And it's due to be replaced, and it's controversial in Calgary. I've never seen a game there. I've been to Calgary during games.
Yep.
And even talked to the bellhop in my hotel about, how easy it is to get a ticket. And he said, he could hook me up. But it looked like it was going to be a kind of a side deal or something. So anyway, I just decided not to bother. But it looks a little flat in the bottom.
I like how there's 2 bowls, but they're almost the same size. Like the upper bowl is almost the same size as the lower bowl. There's not middle stages.
Yeah. It looks like they very efficiently used their space.
Yeah.
And that, we're going back into the mid-'80s before there was probably a lot of attention paid for VIP seating and other things.
Exactly, yeah.
Everybody was just there to watch the game, not to socialize and celebrate, whatever. But I like it. And I don't know why it's as high as it is as number 3, but I really do like it. I hope I get to a game there while they're still playing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, sure would be.
Number 2, the
Man.
brand new T-Mobile Arena. Look at that clock. That screen is huge. It's amazing. I love it.
And again, if you like clocks, you're going to like this clock. Look at the artwork in the upper left-hand corner, you know, center
Oh,
left.
yeah, the skyline of
Yeah.
Las
and,
Vegas.
And it's almost what you'd see, I guess, if you're taxiing in McCarran Field, you know, and at the airport in Las Vegas. It's kind of, it lines up with the strip a little bit, and you can see those buildings, you know, from your plane of your, or window of your plane when you're taxiing. And Las Vegas is a beautiful place.
It is, yeah.
And to pay honor to the city, you know, the city's external view when you're inside the arena, I think it's a great idea.
I'm kind of glad you ranked it number 2.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the nice steep seating in the bowl.
Yeah, it's very
everyone's
steep,
going to see
yeah.
well, and everyone's close to the ice that way. Now, it's a little, you know, probably a little spooky if you're sitting way up high because you'll be sitting almost over the ice. It'll feel that way.
Yeah.
But it looks like everybody's going to have a good view.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see a game here sometime.
I hope so.
Number 1, yeah.
You can't beat
How could
that.
this not be number 1?
You cannot
So
beat
I've
that.
ranked Rogers Place number 1 on external visual appeal. You've ranked it number 1 on the internal visual appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree. This is amazing.
It is amazing. Now, if you had used a picture taken during a game,
Yeah.
we wouldn't see the coolness of this because the logo would be obliterated by thousands of bums.
That's true.
But
yeah.
but really, it's gorgeous. It's so well thought out, and you know, this is clearly the main tenant in this building.
Yeah, I would say so.
There's no basketball team in here, or lacrosse, or anything else. That's Oilers country, and it's beautiful.
Lots of banners too.
Yep, well-earned banners. I love it.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Good number 1.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, well, that wraps up this video. It's gone a little longer. It's probably close to 30 minutes, I think,
Oops.
but that's okay. I'm sure lots of people enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. That definitely helps the channel a lot. If you're new to this channel, hope you can hit the subscribe button to join us for all kinds of videos. We talk serious hockey, we have fun, and do videos like this. We talk about logos. We do all kinds of stuff. So join us here and hit the subscribe button. And otherwise, we'll see you in a future video. Adios.